On November 22, 2024, in a quarterfinal at the ITF W100 Takasaki in Japan, Alex Eala took the first set against Mananchaya Sawangkaew and then watched her match disintegrate. 6 feet 4 inches became 16 became 2-6 and the Thai player walked off court having won 12 of the last 14 games. 7 months later on Friday, June 5 at the Edgbaston Priory Club in Birmingham, England, these two meet again in the quarterfinals of the Lexus Birmingham Open. And what has happened between that November afternoon and this English summer morning tells you everything about why this rematch carries a different charge entirely. Let me walk you through the full picture. First, how you can actually watch this match. The Lexus Birmingham Open is a WTA 125 event, which means the broadcasting situation is different from a standard WTA 250 or WTA 10,000 tournament. The primary way to watch all women's singles matches at this tournament is through WTA Unlocked, which is the official streaming platform for WTA 125 events. You sign up, it is free, and you get access to live coverage from up to 2 courts at each WTA 125 tournament throughout the season. This is legitimate. This is the tour's own platform, and it gives you commentary and multiple camera angles for viewers in certain regions, particularly in the United States. Tennis Channel also carries coverage of this event. Amazon Prime Video has been showing some of the Birmingham Open coverage as well. The quarterfinals are scheduled for Friday, June 5th, with play beginning in the morning, UK time. The specific order of play and court assignments typically get confirmed the evening before. So, check the WTA website or the LTA's tournament page for the exact time slot of Eala versus Sawangkaew. Now, back to the tennis. Alex Eala arrived in Birmingham ranked 37th in the world, seeded first in this draw and carrying the kind of baggage that doesn't show up in the seedings. Her last 3 results before this tournament were a third-round loss to Elena Rybakina in Rome, a first-round defeat to qualifier Alexandra Olikova in Strasbourg, and a first-round exit against Ivajic at Roland Garros. 3 consecutive events without stringing together wins. The ranking at 37 still reflects the extraordinary work she did earlier in 2026, the career high of 29 in March, the wins over IG Swiatek and Coco Gauff, the deep runs at Indian Wells. But form and ranking had diverged, and the question entering Birmingham was straightforward. Had the clay court season and the French Open simply exhausted her, or was something more structural fraying? 2 matches in, we have something close to an answer. The demolition of Priscilla Hahn's 6-0 6 feet 2 inches in barely an hour was clinical, dominant, efficient. The kind of opening round performance that says the body is fresh and the timing is crisp. But the second round against Alina Kuriva told a more complicated story. Eala won the first set 6-2 with the kind of controlled aggression we associate with her best tennis, breaking early and pulling away. Then Kuriva broke in the second set and built a 5-2 lead. 5 games to 2, serving to level the match. And Eala found something. 5 of the last 6 games went her way. She broke 3 times down the stretch. The final score read 75 and the match lasted an hour and 40 minutes. But the experience of living through that second set of watching your lead evaporate and having to rebuild point by point against a player who suddenly believed she could win, that leaves residue. Good residue in this case. Eala proved she could fight laterally, not just from ahead. She proved her nerve holds under scoreboard pressure that used to tip her sideways. Mananchaya Sawangkaew's path to this quarter-final was quieter, but no less earned. She came through qualifying, which means she has already played 4 matches this week, 4 competitive matches on grass, a surface she has extremely limited tour-level experience on. Her qualifying wins over your Iko Miyazaki and Oito were workmanlike tight score lines, particularly the 76 against Ito, but nothing panicked. In the main draw, she handled Linda Klelovikova in 2 sets and then put away Kayla Day with real authority, 64-61. The Day match was the statement. Day is a former prodigy who still carries dangerous weapons and Sawangkaew neutralized her in 65 minutes. 74% first serve percentage. 56% of second serve points won. Clean numbers composed execution. Here is what you need to understand about Sawangkaew's career to grasp why this matchup is not the formality the ranking gap suggests. she is 23 years old from Sing Bairi province in Thailand. She attended Oklahoma State University for the 2021-22 season, playing collegiate tennis in America before returning to the professional tour. This is not a common pathway for Southeast Asian players. The college year gave her something specific. Physical preparation, match toughness against consistent opponents week after week, and the kind of structured development that the Thai tennis system with its limited resources cannot always provide. After college, she ground through the ITF circuit for 2 years before breaking through in late 2024 with back-to-back WTA quarterfinals in Guangzhou and Jiangxi, upsetting seeded players and becoming the first Thai woman in a WTA quarterfinal since Likakung in 2018 in February 2026. She won her first WTA 125 title at the Mumbai Open, beating Lily Tagger in the final. In May, she won the W100 Gufu title, defeating Emerson Jones, a highly touted young Australian, in the final. Her 2026 record stands at 26 wins and 9 losses. She hit the top 100 for the first time in June 2025 and has bounced around below it since, currently sitting at 173, but the win-loss ratio tells you her level is above her ranking. She has been competing well and consistently against players ranked higher than her current number suggests. The only official head-to-head match between these two on the professional tour is that Takasaki quarter-final. But there is a second data point that matters enormously: the 2025 SEA Games final in Bangkok. On home soil, with a Thai crowd behind her, Saini Mehta in the gold medal match. Eala 161-62 dominated from start to finish. That was November 2025, just days after the Takasaki result, and it was played on hard court. The SEA Games result does not appear in official WT head-to-head records because it was a multi-sport event, but both players remember it. A took the gold, so Wanky took the silver. The emotional ledger between them is complicated. One professional win for the Thai player, one comprehensive defeat in the match that carried national weight. So, what happens when they step onto grass on Friday? Let me break down the tactical picture. A plays left-handed, which immediately creates angles that right-handed opponents rarely face. Her forehand struck from the ADC court on server turns naturally opens up the court in directions that disrupt a right-hander rhythm. On grass, where the ball stays low and the bounce is less forgiving of late adjustments, this left-handed geometry becomes even more pronounced. Her slice backhand, which has developed into a genuine weapon over the past 18 months, stays low on grass in a way that clay would never allow. When Eala is serving well, the left-handed delivery kicks wide to the ad court and pulls opponents off the court before the rally even begins. Saini plays right-handed with a two-handed backhand. Her game is built on consistency, court coverage, and an ability to absorb pace and redirect it. She does not generate enormous power. Her aces per game across her career average 0.24, modest by tour standards, but she rarely beats herself. Her double fault rate mirrors Eala's exactly, both at 0.38 per game career-wide. What she does well is stay in rallies, extend points, and make the opponent play one more ball than they want to on hard courts where her movement and anticipation shine. This makes her a nightmare for aggressive players who need clean winners to close points. On grass, the equation shifts. The surface accelerates play. Points are shorter. The premium on first-strike tennis increases. In theory, this should favor Eala, but theory met reality at Takasaki and reality won in that match. Sankey absorbed a first-set pressure, adjusted, and then strangled her. The statistics from that encounter are brutal for Eala. 56% first serve points won, 32% second serve points won. 0 aces across the entire match. 6 double faults. Saini won 54% of return points. A staggering number that reflects not just returning skill but's inability to generate free points on serve. If the same serve struggles recur on Friday, the surface change from hard to grass might not save Eala the way you would expect. Here is the counter-argument. In Birmingham this week, Eala has served well. Against Han, she won 77% of first serve points and committed 0 double faults. Against Kariva, the serve was less dominant. The second set wobble was partially serve-related, but she still generated enough free points to stay in touch during her worst stretch. The grass rewards her serve in ways that hard court does not. The left-handed delivery skids and stays low, and opponents cannot sit back and load up on the return the way they can on a slower surface. Sinki's challenge is that she has almost no grass court record at this level. Her career grass court win-loss stands at 4 wins and 2 losses. A small sample that tells us almost nothing. Her qualifying and early round results here in Birmingham demonstrate confidence, not dominance. She is comfortable enough, but comfortable and championship level are different things. On grass, when Eala's forehand comes at you at that left-handed angle and dips into the court before you can set your feet, the rally length shortens. Sinki's greatest weapon, her ability to extend and suffocate, becomes harder to deploy when points end in 4 or 5 shots. The physical dimension matters, too. Sinki has played 4 matches in Birmingham, all ready for matches in 5 days, including the qualifying rounds. Her body has covered more court, played more points, absorbed more stress than Eala's. Against a 21-year-old Eala, who is fresh from a first-round exit at Roland Garros, meaning she had extra rest before Birmingham, the fatigue differential could tell late in a match if it goes 3 sets. Sawangkaew's match against Klemovakova in the first round went to 75 in the second set. The Ido qualifier went to a tie break. These were not breezy wins. They demanded physical and emotional expenditure, but fatigue can cut both ways. Sometimes the player with more matches under her belt that week is sharper, more grooved, more dialed into the conditions. Sawangkaew's movement against her in the second round was crisp and confident. She was reading the ball early, arriving in position with time to spare. A player in physical decline does not generate that kind of controlled aggression. She looked like someone who has found her timing through repetition rather than someone running on fumes. My honest assessment is that Eala wins this match in straight sets. Probably something like 64-63 or 63-64. The ranking gap exists for real reasons. Eala has beaten top 5 players this season. She has won matches on the biggest stages in the sport. Her left-handed angles and grass court geometry give her a structural edge that Sawangkaew's game is not designed to neutralize. And the SEA Games demolition 61-62 total domination in the match that both players care deeply about suggests that when Eala brings her best, the level gap is not close. But I will tell you why this is not a certainty. First, the Takasaki match. Sawangkaew already demonstrated that she can solve Eala after losing the first set. She has the tactical intelligence to adjust mid-match to change the tempo to make Eala feel the weight of having to close a match against an opponent who refuses to go away. Second, Sawangkaew's current form is objectively better than Eala's recent trajectory. 26 wins and 9 losses in 2026, a title in Gufu 3 weeks ago, wins over quality opponents in qualifying and main draw here in Birmingham without dropping a set. She is playing with the confidence of someone who knows she belongs at this level. Third, and this is subtle but real, the emotional texture of a rematch after a loss carries differently than a first meeting. Eala knows Sawangkaew beat her. It was not a fluky win. It was a systematic dismantling. That memory does not vanish because you change surfaces. It sits in the back of the mind during tight moments. At 5-all in a second set, when the tie player stays in a rally longer than expected, when the ball keeps coming back one more time, the body remembers what happened in Takasaki. Whether Eala can override that memory with present tense confidence is the invisible variable no statistic can capture. The path to an upset for Sawangkaew runs through the following sequence. She needs to get Eala's second serve into play early and attack it, taking time away. She needs to make the first set competitive, at least 5-all or a tie-break to plant out. She needs to keep her own service games relatively clean so that the pressure remains on Eala's racket. And she needs Eala's serve to cooperate, meaning if Eala starts double faulting at critical moments, as she did 6 times in Takasaki, the upset becomes genuinely plausible. The path to a comfortable ELO win is simpler. Serve well, dictate early in rallies with the forehand. Use the slice backhand to keep Sawangkaew low and unable to generate her preferred rally ball exchanges. If Eala serves above 65% and keeps double faults below 3, this match probably stays firmly in her control. This is Eala's tournament to lose. She is the top seed. She has the ranking, the weapons, and the big match experience that Saini is still accumulating. But sport does not always obey hierarchy. And the woman across the net has already proven once in circumstances that matter that she can take Alexa apart when the conditions align. Friday's quarterfinal will tell us whether those conditions existed only on hard court in Japan, or whether Saini has figured out something transferable about how to compete against the best players Southeast Asia has produced. Watch it on WTA Unlocked. It is free. It is official and it deserves your attention.